So now we're going to be looking at the front body lock to be able to control our opponent. As I talked about, we want to be able to use arm drags or pads to be able to get to our opponent's back, because that's the safest, best place we can be in a fight. It's not always possible, and especially if you start throwing punches at me, I'm not going to be trying to like catch this sucker out of the air and got it out of the way to get around you. I might be able to duck it, but we just need to move in, we need to control our opponent. Main thing with this is that if I'm at this range, we're at that striking range, and if you throw a punch right now, I'm meeting it right at the end of his extension, where his arm becomes a powerful frame, generating force through his feet, hips, and shoulder. It's lights out for me. If I can close that distance and stand here, if you tried to hit me right now, even if your fist hit me, it's much weaker. Honestly, I need to be concerned about not just putting my neck here so that you can bite or kiss me. I need to control that distance, and I'm going to look to get that front body lock so that I can pull the hips in and push his shoulders back, similarly to how we did with our back control. How you close that distance is up to you. Usually, like at a lower level, it's going to be just bringing the arm up here to protect the jaw and the side of your head, while your other arm is up here protecting the face. And I'm just level changing, and I'm moving in until my elbows start to make contact with his chest, so that then I can release. I change my angle, so I'm not standing straight on. I'm not standing straight to the side, getting it put into like a headlock. I'm kind of here at this 45-degree angle. My arm is reaching around Stephan's hip, down right at his lower back, because I want to access his spine as a lever. Now this is one time where the grip is actually quite important. I want to make sure that this hand that's around his back is not going to be the arm that's making the grip. This arm is coming over top and grabbing here with a monkey grip, because I need to make the grip strong here, because Stephan's going to be trying to drive weight backwards, and I need to be reinforced. If I have my arm the other direction like this, switched, this is where it would be weak and it could slide. So now if Stephan hits back, my grip breaks. So we need to make sure, we need to think about the purpose of the grip and where it's strong. The monkey grip is strong in this plane to create that pull. It is not strong at stopping the arm from sliding up and down. So as I've moved in and I drop, my head is connected to Stephan's chest, and depending on the height of you versus your opponent, we're looking to use our head to manipulate our opponent's spine, breaking their posture, starting to shift their center of gravity backwards. This is where I'm not hanging out here getting into this kind of wrestling battle, because when there's biting potential, this is not something I want to be engaging in. But if I have my head here and have one head position, if Stephan tried to bite me from here, there's nothing. If you're not tall enough, that's fine. Just keep your head connected up by his jaw as much as possible, and we're going to be using our chest to push into our opponent's chest while we're pulling their hips in. My one leg is stepped up right beside his leg. My other leg is somewhere here in the middle, kind of just at that 45-degree angle. The most important thing is that we have wide base. I'm not like this, where if Stephan starts to yank me one direction, I'm going to get thrown around embarrassingly. I've lowered myself, I'm holding on, and I'm wide base. I'm not concerned about getting kneed in the groin. One, it's not going to put me down. This isn't the movies where as soon as he touches me, I fall over. Plus, I'm immediately pulling him here. Hips in, pushing the shoulders back. Try and knee me in the groin now, Stephan.
If there is, there's zero power.
Yeah, and I want to keep him here. I don't want to be getting into this battle where he's going to be upright here. I don't want to get stuck in a headlock. We're keeping ourselves here, pulling him back. If Stephan tries to go for a headlock, this is where our back control stuff starts to move in. Anytime our opponent starts to open up an elbow on either side, whether we're looking for schoolyard bully headlock or a guillotine with the other arm, we can look to take advantage of that break in structure to move to the back. So as I'm here, if Stephan starts to wrap over my head with that arm on the same side of my body, I'm abducting through that space. I'm switching all the way to the other side here on the body lock from the rear.
Previous video.
Yes, previous video. If I'm here and he tries to wrap this arm over my head, look how high he has to lift his elbow. I keep my posture really strong so that he's unable to wrap me up and control my posture. So now I can move through, moving into my seatbelt control, or moving to, once again, the rear body lock on the other side. As long as my alignment's good, it's very hard for you to control me. The only reason why we get stuck in guillotines when it comes to like grappling. It's my head drops below your shoulder line, and I have broken posture. See how his elbow can stay nice and close to his body as he hooks me. But if I'm here, look how high he has to lift that elbow. So as long as I just don't become stupid while you start doing that and I panic and I break my posture, I hide my face or something and allow my alignment to be compromised, I'm going to be fine. So we're here. Stephan tries to wrap over top. I just make myself taller and I block that arm now. Now from here, I start to switch, once again, back to that rear body lock. We can also take our opponent down with that front body lock by just folding them in the same way we did from behind. All I'm looking to do from here is pull those hips in, push them back. What I'm looking at doing is starting to level change. So if I just push them back like this, Stephan might be able to adjust. I'm going to start dropping my chest in and folding. Some people call it a folding takedown or a body fold. I'm just going here. I'm going to start bending up my hips and dropping them down. How hard you drop your opponent at that point, kind of up to you. This is one as well that we can really control our opponent's fall while drilling, but also when we're actually using this real application. The only difference is now you're facing me, so I do want to be careful, depending on how much space I'm creating, that someone might start trying to go at your face in any kind of way. So there's a point where Stephan starts to fall that no matter what, he can't stop himself. Here he might be able to kind of pull himself back up, Neo style, in the Matrix. But as soon as I've dropped him to like here, he's purely here because of me. So as soon as I feel he's at that point, I can let go and I post my hands on the mat. At this point, we can move to mount, we can windshield wipe, we go to side control, we can start to look to control and start turning our opponent over. Don't just keep that body lock and slam them down to the ground and then not break your fall, and then because your arms are going to end up landing underneath your opponent's. It's going to suck depending on what you're landing on, and then you also risk potentially driving your own head into the concrete, which would be
Or their head.
or their head too. Yeah, we're not
No
very
matter how hard you
concerned.
punch,
Yeah,
you're not hitting them any harder than the planet is.
that's why I really like anytime if I have the choice, and I have that option that I can set somebody down, because it's very safe. Even if I drop somebody on their ass really hard, I don't care if their tailbone gets bruised. What I do care about is someone's head hitting the concrete or hitting the table or something, and then the possible liabilities that come from that. Even if you use, like if your use of force was justified, it still would suck to get charged and have to go to court. And even if you're found innocent, the stress of that and the time it takes, I know officers that have gone through that stuff and they were found innocent or acquitted, but
They've lost a couple years of their life.
yeah, so the more we can control falls rather than say something like, even if we do argue for the sake that the armbar takedown is super effective, always works.
This one, just people may have forgotten.
Yeah, so as I'm controlling him, break instead of posture, and I'm dropping him down here, he's leading with his head. And so when it does work, and it works at full force, your face is going into something, and there's a high likelihood that I'm going to damage your shoulder and potentially damage your elbow.
So it doesn't work, but God help you if it does.
Yeah, it's one of those like, oh, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So if the situation called for it, and you know that technique like the back of your hand, and you can make it work on somebody, like, good luck to you. But if it does, like, yeah, it's going to be one of those situations that, like, hopefully your life was in danger and you can justify it. If someone reached for your weapon and you're able to make it work, absolutely. But for some jobs, like when we're talking about security, or if you're talking about, like, some of the guys that have reached out to me were doing like healthcare, whether it's nurses or working in a care home, and it's like straight armbar takedown.
This 80-year-old dementia guy came at me, and I just slammed his head into the edge of the hospital bed. I showed him who was boss.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that doesn't work, and you're gonna get fired from your job from that. Because soon, like, even you're kind of screwed no matter what in those circumstances. Because when there's patient care, it's like that kind of goes above all else for like the mission statement of like the organization. And so if they have people getting hurt while they're in their care homes or in their hospitals, like, once again, this is where I saw officers get charged with excessive force, found innocent in court, but everybody was super upset with them. And so if I'm dealing with like an older patient, one, it's going to be easier to perform arm drags of some kind, going to the back, being able to like block their arms up, being able to just like sit them down here, being able to control them. We're able to do everything, even in slow motion to an extent, depending on what the size and strength difference is from you and the person you got to control. Nobody gets hurt. And so then it just becomes a win-win for everybody.
Well, thank you very much for this little series on the real-life applications of standing clinching. If people want to, you've got a YouTube channel dedicated just to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I might do more law enforcement stuff as I've had some people reach out to me, but my YouTube channel is RVVBJJ.
And your Instagram channel is?
It's RVVBJJ.
And your
Facebook,
email is?
rory.v@rvvbjj.ca. And I work with my instructor, Rob Bernanke, on bjjconcepts.net. So obviously this is a vast topic, and we could go through so much more stuff on this topic, and we might. I might do some more stuff on my channel as well. But this is just to give you guys some ideas of how I prefer, and it's what a lot of people are teaching. This isn't like anything I've come up with, of moving in and controlling the torso, controlling the opponent's upper body and hips to be able to break their alignment down, control them, minimize damage, and take them to the ground safely, rather than trying to control people's limbs, their entire body via their limb, and taking them down in ways that are not high percentage, that do not work for everybody, and that can cause a lot more harm than necessary.